I think when you start telling yourself that you're lucky and that good things are going to happen, it's that filter that I was talking about, the neuroscience that backs up lucky girl syndrome. It's that filter that's going to find those things. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, we're talking about something that I've seen literally everywhere, from TikTok to Instagram to even YouTube, and that is lucky girl syndrome. If you're new to my channel, my name's Sam. I make new videos every Wednesday and I'm a mom of a 2-year-old. And I want to mention that because as a mom, sometimes I like to find other creators that are also a mom. And even before I was a mom, I still like to find mom creators because moms have just this way about them of multitasking and almost like hacks, because you are balancing so many different things. So let's break down what lucky girl syndrome is. So I think I'm so drawn to this concept because I used to say things like, oh, I'm just lucky, like it'll figure itself out. Like driving to Target during a high traffic time, there's so much traffic where I live in South Florida. I will tell myself things like, oh, you know what? It'll work out. It'll work itself out. I will find a parking spot. And guess what? I always do. There's also been a few videos that I've seen on TikTok about the neuroscience behind lucky girl syndrome and how your brain filters information. So if I tell you right now to look for a red car, you're gonna see several red cars. If you wanna think of it that way, it's just filtering information, waking up and counting your blessings and feeling lucky and abundant rather than waking up and complaining. I've been interested in this topic since Christmas time, but I didn't film a video until now, whatever today's date is, February 21st. And that's because I wanted to practice and really figure out what are the best tips to give you guys. So I put together my best tips, and the first thing I want to mention before we get into those is sort of my little disclaimer in that changing your mindset isn't going to say that bad things won't happen or that struggles won't happen. In 2016, I was living in LA, and that's where a lot of this woo-woo stuff is so common, which can be a good thing to be around that and also can be a toxic thing as well. During that time, I got super into law of attraction, super into my mindset, and everything was really going my way. I was on a beautiful walk after doing a really fun workout class, a really trendy one that I would always see celebrities at and people I watched on TV. It just was this crazy moment that I was in the same place on this beautiful walk with my boyfriend, who is now my husband, and I get this call that my dad died. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, it's not to bring down the mood or anything, but it's you can be in a great place in your life and bad things still happen. But what I've learned from having this healthy mindset is that I can move through struggles so much easier and give myself grace than if I had been my old self. And my old self, I feel like I've done a 180. I was somebody that, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, very negative, complained, found so many things wrong, and I realized that I had to change and that that wasn't the way that I wanted to live my life. It didn't feel good, and I didn't want to be that person that when you met them, I was just like this energy drainer. I wanted to have like this intoxicating energy that you want to be around, but then also inspires you to feel the same way. So now let's get into lucky girl syndrome, how you can use it, how you can change your mindset and call the most amazing things into your life. If you want to make more money, if you want to live happier, if you want to find a partner, if you want to move into a new home, this is going to help you do it. Tip number 1 is you have to do the work. Now, how many times do we hear people say that? We hear them say it on podcasts, we hear them say it on TikTok, we hear them say it on YouTube. People do interviews and they say, oh, you gotta do the work. Once I did the work, it changed my life. What is the work? Do you ever sit back and you're like, well, what is the work that these successful people are doing? From knowing really successful people in my personal life to reading so many books, podcasts and everything, what I've realized is if you want to be more positive, if you want to call good things into your life, you have to change your morning routine. You have to have non-negotiables. As a mom of a little one, I didn't know that I could have non-negotiables, but I can because it's my attitude towards it. So whether you're a mom, whether you're a stressed out college student, whether you're working a job you don't like in an apartment you hate, you have the power to change your mindset about all of the things in your life. Your life is entirely up to you. For me, doing the work looks like going to bed early
and then waking up early, spending time with my daughter and giving her undivided attention. I don't look at my phone, I don't film. I feel the most connected and present when I'm appreciating nature and lighting. I talked about this on my Instagram. I love looking for light leaks. I love when it's sunset, sunrise. And I think that there's just something to be said about that, and creating discipline for yourself, taking care of your things, putting things away, being proud of your surroundings. These are all part of doing the work, taking in the little moments. I always make sure to get in a workout as well. Working out makes me feel incredible. I started doing hot Pilates again, which I love the vibe here, but I love how much you sweat. I think sweating out all the toxins is really good for me. And then it inspires me to count my blessings the rest of the day. Something else that I think is such an underrated tip is cooking your meals and eating things that are vibrant for you and making them for your family. It just makes you feel incredible.
Waking up early and not looking at my phone, not looking at something that's going to drain my energy. This, as great as it is so many, is my flashlight on? This connects us with the world. This connects us with information. But do you ever notice that if you're taking in too much self-help, you're taking in too much information, you don't feel good? And that's because you're comparing your journey with somebody else's. Take in the information, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and then put in the work, put in the action. I love in the morning finding something beautiful. Even if it's a rainy day, even if it's a gray day, I find those beautiful as well. The biggest part of Lucky Girl Syndrome, what I realized is it's that first 30 minutes when you wake up in the morning. How is your attitude? How is your energy? Because that's gonna dictate the rest of the day. If you're into saying mantras, like waking up and saying, today is going to be an amazing day, I am lucky, I attract everything I want in my life, say something like that. But if your morning routine is currently not making you feel good, if you're rushing out the door, you're eating something really sugary that doesn't fuel your body, it's up to you to change it. My second tip is it's not an overnight thing. You didn't become a more negative person or complain a lot overnight. That was like years of build up and maybe even things from your childhood. One of the most important things I want to teach my daughter is that when you're breaking a bad habit, you're not going to change overnight. If bad thoughts creep in, that's all part of the process. And that's why creating a routine, I always say to people, start with the morning because it's gonna dictate the rest. But then after you've created a really solid morning routine, then you wanna work on your afternoon habits. You wanna work on your evening habits. And your routine is what's going to anchor you when you are having a bad day, you're having bad moments, or something unexpected happens. Your routine and mindset is what's going to ground you. So my last tip, and I feel like this is the fun part and something I started practicing, was I would say, I am so lucky. Something amazing is going to happen today. So I have a couple stories for this one. So it's almost like a mantra that I say to myself, but it was around Christmas time when I started hearing people talking more about Lucky Girl Syndrome, and I was just experimenting, like, okay, something lucky is gonna happen to me today. And so one of the things that happened actually recently, and I told the story on Instagram, but I'll just tell you guys here. I had a pedicure appointment and I decided to bring my 2.5-year-old, and now that she's like interested in nail polish and stuff, I thought, okay, she'll get like one coat of polish on her toes and she'll think it's so fun. So I brought her with me and we were having the best time. Just hearing her go, wow, this is so amazing, this is so cool. When I saw that we were almost finished, I just started getting out my wallet and my cards all organized so that I could pay and get right out of there, because anybody with a 2-year-old knows their patience is very small. I have 2 credit cards I use. I have one for personal expenses and groceries and all that, and then I have a business credit card. And my personal credit card was with my part-time nanny. When she's here, I do give her my card with my daughter and they will get lunch or do activities. And on that particular day, because we were rushing to the nail salon, I forgot to get my card back from her and I only had the business card. I started to get like annoyed with myself, like, Sam, why did you do that? Like, you're forgetful. Like, why did you always have mom brain at the end of the day? And I started to really beat myself up about it. And I started to get annoyed that I was getting annoyed about the card situation and not enjoying this present moment. I could never get this moment back. The first time taking my daughter to get her toes done, I'll never get that moment back. And now here I am annoyed about the credit card situation. So I stop myself in my tracks and I say, you're so lucky, it's okay, you're here with your daughter, you're just going to have to pay with a different card today. Now our nails are over, we go to check out and pay, and they were like, oh, somebody paid for you. What? And I just like kind of stood there for a second, and they were like, yeah, somebody paid for you. They were like, oh yeah, this is her. So I meet this girl, she is so sweet. She paid for me in Violet's service at the spa, and she said that she watches my channel and she loves my videos, and she heard my voice at the spa, and she just wanted to do something sweet, like a random act of kindness. And honestly, that act of kindness that inspired me, the next day that I was at Starbucks, I paid for the people behind me because it was so contagious. Her energy and her doing that for me, it then inspired me to do something really nice for somebody else, so that the people behind me, I bet that day they felt lucky. They're like, whoa, somebody did this for me. I think when you start telling yourself that you're lucky and that good things are going to happen, it's that filter that I was talking about, the neuroscience that backs up lucky girl syndrome. It's that filter that's going to find those things. And they might be big, they might be small, they might be a really good parking spot, they might be something else that happened to me 2 nights ago. I was at Whole Foods, and after I put in the groceries and I put in my daughter, I always hate that part where you have to take your cart back to the thing, and I have my daughter in the car, and it gives me severe anxiety. And I started walking the cart back. This cute little family was like, we'll take the cart from you, we see you have your daughter. And it was so sweet. Like, people don't really do that. To me, that day, that act was lucky. That was the luck that I was looking for. So each day, putting it out there that like something lucky is going to happen to me, your brain will find it. And like I said in the intro of this video, this is not about that the rest of your life there will never be struggles. The rest of your life, bad things won't come into your life. The day that I got the unexpected call that my dad died was still the most traumatic thing in my life because I had just talked to him. I'm still going through healing of that time. Even bad things that happened to me, I always know that there is a bigger purpose. There's a reason that I had to go through that. There's a reason that there was a time in my life that I struggled with money. There was a time in my life that I struggled with my mindset, being positive. There was a time in my life that I struggled with my home life. And I realized that when you have a good mindset and you're in a good place, and what can you learn from them? When you're in a negative place and you're complaining a lot, you just add it to the bunch. You're like, no, this would happen to me. Yep, I would have this bill come up and I have no money right now. This would happen to me. And you write that story, and eventually your brain, like I just talked about the filter, sees the bad. It sees more bad. I bet the days that I'm feeling lucky and that all these good things are happening to me, I bet there's also little bad moments that are happening too. I notice these little acts of kindness, or these lucky moments, so to say, I notice them more. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Comment down below what you think of this and any mindset tips that you got from this video or that you just want to share. I think the most important thing that anybody can take from this video is to work on your morning routine. Create those solid habits, because those solid habits are what's going to move the needle to get you to the next place. You don't like your house, you don't like your apartment, you don't like the relationship you're in or the relationship you have with yourself. The morning habits they seem easy, but that is what's going to change and move the needle. So have an awesome day, and I will see you guys soon.